Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. Today, we're going to uncover the secret to mastering small talk, no matter how shy you might feel. This presentation will explore simple yet powerful strategies to boost your confidence and improve your conversational skills. We'll cover practical tips and techniques that you can start using right away. So, let's dive in and discover how to make small talk easier and more enjoyable for you. For years, it can feel like we're just unlucky in love. We invest so much of ourselves, our time, our devotion, our emotional energy, only to end up hurt, confused, or abandoned. It's frustrating, isn't it? Sometimes one partner starts off so promising, but then suddenly turns cold. Other times, someone drifts away into the arms of a coworker or a new acquaintance. And then there are those who are affectionate but never fully present, unable to commit to that deep, meaningful love we're really craving. After experiencing this pattern enough times, it's easy to fall into the belief that maybe it's just bad luck. But what if there's more to it than that? What if these aren't just random incidents, but signs of a pattern that we haven't yet recognized? That's what we're here to explore today. So on this slide, we're diving into what I call the deeper pattern. Often, it takes time, maybe with a wise friend or a perceptive therapist, to start seeing beyond the surface. What if these relationships we're in aren't just random? What if, unconsciously, we've been choosing partners who are actually meant to teach us the same emotional lessons we learned long before we ever dated anyone? It's a bit of a paradigm shift, but it helps us understand that these patterns might be more about our inner world than about the other person. Recognizing this can open the door to real growth and healing, fitting into our overall journey of understanding ourselves better in relationships. When we look at the choices we make today, it's important to understand that many of these are influenced by an unseen blueprint. This blueprint is often built during childhood, especially in homes where love wasn't always consistent or unconditional. Many of us grew up in environments where love felt out of reach or was given conditionally, which can leave deep emotional scars. As children, our survival depended on adapting to these circumstances. We learned to please our parents, manage their moods, and sometimes accept distance or emotional withdrawal. Despite these challenges, we remained loyal because that was our way of staying connected, even if it was painful. What's crucial to realize is that, without even noticing, we carry this blueprint into our adult lives. It influences how we relate to others, how we view ourselves, and the patterns we fall into. Recognizing this helps us understand that many of our choices are rooted in these early experiences. Ultimately, understanding this unseen blueprint is a key step toward healing and creating healthier relationships. It connects directly to our overall journey of self-awareness and growth. When we encounter someone who is emotionally unavailable, unpredictable, or dismissive, there's something deeper happening. It's as if our subconscious recognizes a familiar pattern, what I like to call home. That feeling of familiarity can be incredibly intoxicating, even if it's not healthy. We often mistake this emotional chaos for passion and the unpredictability for chemistry because our minds associate these intense feelings with love. What's really important to understand is that it's not necessarily a conscious choice to suffer or seek pain. Instead, our nervous system has been conditioned over time. It's been trained to equate love with pain, so we find ourselves drawn to these tumultuous relationships without even realizing why. This recognition of home in chaos is a key part of understanding why we sometimes stay in patterns that aren't good for us. It ties into the overall theme of this presentation, how our past experiences shape our current relationships, and how we can begin to break free from these destructive cycles. Let's talk about the courage to study our patterns. To truly change the cycle we've been caught in, we need to become students of our own behaviors and reactions. It's about asking different questions after dates that seem promising. Instead of wondering, do they like me? We can ask ourselves, can this person meet me as an emotional equal? This shifts our focus from seeking validation to assessing compatibility on a deeper level. We should also consider whether they're capable of both giving and receiving care. Because a healthy connection isn't just about how much we like each other, it's about mutual support and understanding. Another key point is to observe if they demonstrate qualities like maturity, empathy, and self-awareness. Or do they hide behind charm, wit, or even melancholy? These might be signs that they're not as emotionally available or genuine as they appear. And importantly, can they set aside their own world when we truly need them? Because true connection requires that kind of responsiveness and support. Now, I know these questions sound pragmatic, even a little unromantic. But in reality, they're the most authentic acts of self-love we can practice. They help us protect ourselves from confusing drama with true depth. By asking these questions, we're taking responsibility for our emotional health and paving the way for more meaningful relationships. Listening with the ears of the emotionally wise is about developing a kind of sensitivity that goes beyond just hearing words. It's like training the most delicate ears imaginable, ears that can pick up on the faintest signs of immaturity, inconsistency, or emotional withholding. Over time, we learn to hear not just what someone is saying, but how they're expressing love and connection. Are they truly listening when we speak? Do they handle conflict with grace, or do they become defensive? Do they apologize when they're wrong, or do they deflect and shift blame? These small cues, these subtle signals, are not minor details. They're actually windows into a person's emotional makeup, the machinery that will determine whether a relationship can really grow and thrive. So, by hunting this kind of emotional discernment, we become better at understanding not just the words, but the emotional tone behind them. This helps us build stronger, more genuine connections that can stand the test of time. Choosing love over torment means understanding what true maturity really looks like in relationships. It's about letting go of those patterns that might feel exciting or even addictive, like chasing after ecstatic torment or being drawn to fascinating indifference. These patterns might thrill the wounded part of us, but they don't nourish the grown-up in us who longs for peace and stability. To love well, we need to prioritize steadiness over chaos. That means valuing consistency and emotional security rather than drama or unpredictability. It's about choosing presence over mystery, being fully present with someone instead of constantly seeking some elusive excitement. And it's about kindness over excitement, favoring compassion and understanding rather than impulsive or superficial thrills. A key part of this is using our emotional intelligence as a filter. We should ask ourselves repeatedly, can this person love me in a mature way? Not perfectly, but with awareness, growth, and genuine care. This mindset helps us recognize what healthy love really looks like and encourages us to seek that in our relationships. Remember, steadiness over chaos, presence over mystery, and kindness over excitement. These are the qualities that foster genuine, mature love. They help us build relationships rooted in peace and growth, which ultimately align with the overall goal of creating meaningful, enduring connections. Choosing wisely isn't about being cynical or mistrustful. It's about protecting that part of us that still dares to hope. It's about recognizing that genuine emotional chemistry should feel safe and enlivening, not dangerous or draining. When we make mindful choices in our relationships, we're actually honoring our capacity to love and be loved. And perhaps the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is to stop being seduced by people who can't truly love us. Instead, we create space for those who can. Because at the end of the day, love isn't something that just happens by luck. It's something we build through awareness of ourselves, of others, and of what healthy love actually looks like. This kind of emotional awareness, cultivated patiently, is the secret to mastering not only our relationships, but also our hearts. It's about understanding what we deserve and making choices that nurture our well-being. So remember, love is a skill, one we develop through intentional awareness and self-compassion.